About to remove the parking brake cables from the back here. It comes through the frame rails and out back to the axle. You can see it through there. There's one on both sides, so I've got that one too. So I just wanted to document this, and when I go back to put it back together, it has 2 bolts here. I'm going to take those out, and then this bracket down here, if I can get that, is actually welded to the frame. So I pretty much got the fitment where I wanted. I've already shown this side before. I went ahead and put it back in just to double check everything. This side, passenger side, I pretty much got it where I want it. It's not fitting up against this back panel like I'd like, but I think when I go to install it, I'll after all this is welded around the edges, around the outside, I was going to put self-tapping screws through here and see if I can pull it together. If not, I'm going to have to do some relief cuts or something to get that right. But anyway, I think I've got it where I want. I can remove it and do some surface prep. But before I do that, I think I'm going to go ahead and start working on the seatbelt hump and do what Eric did. I cut out the seatbelt fastener, and I'm going to put it down here, cut that out, and then weld that in. Take this top sheet metal layer off. I had cut the seatbelt fastener square out a little too big, so I'm cutting it down, but I thought I'd share this. I don't really have a whole lot of room in my garage, so my vise is not mounted. I only really have the one bench over there. So what I'm doing here is I clamped it in there, and then I literally just tilted my vise up like this, and that way I can get to my cut line. But the top layer of sheet metal came off real easy. I just pulled it off with some channel locks. I'll bring it back. Seatbelt, I'm not sure what you call it, bung, I guess, I think is what Eric called it, but I've got it welded in. Still need to grind the welds. I started hammering the seatbelt hump. Let me show you that. So I made a bunch of relief cuts, and as I was hammering, if I started getting like a wrinkle or something, I would just put a relief cut through it and keep on hammering. I went ahead and cut all this out, and I'm working on a piece, about to weld it in. It's going to fit in here. This is 16 gauge, and I put that radius in it by hammering it over a pipe like this. I held one end and then used my body hammer. So I'm going to go ahead and weld this in. I'll bring you back. I welded in this piece here. I only welded the one side over here because, sorry about the light, it actually doesn't attach to that sheet metal there. So now I'm going to make a patch to fill in this hole right here. Okay, patch is welded in. I'm going to go ahead and grind these welds down. I screwed down the under seat panel to see how the fitment was going to look over here. So right here I had cut out, and then on the original panel I had already cut the sides off. So what I did was take some pieces left over from the other panel, like this piece, and I cut it to kind of fill in this spot right here. So now what I'm going to do is take this panel off and go ahead and weld this in. I think I'm just going to spot it to here, or plug weld it, and then weld it to here. And then I can trim this panel to fit this better. I went ahead and cleaned it up with isopropyl alcohol and sprayed some well-through primer on there, and also my patch. Drilled holes in it for the plug weld. So I'm going to go ahead and weld it in up here, and then do a little massaging to get it to lay flat onto this after it's welded here. In the meantime, when I was waiting for the primer to dry, I went ahead and started working on this other side. I cut out the threaded seatbelt bolt or nut, and working on relocating it. I'm not sure if I'm going to film everything over there. I'm pretty much going to do the same thing I did on this side, so I'll bring you back. Okay, I wanted to show you guys. I think I already showed you this spot welded in, but anyway, I ground it down, and I only brought this this plate over to here. I didn't go around the radius, but the main concern was just covering this gap right here. I thought it would look funny, but well, it needs something there. There'd be a hole through to the car. But anyway, I brought it all the way to here too, because the patch panel I make for the outside, I wanted a somewhat flat, smooth surface for it to plug weld to also. So I think I'm going to leave it here like it is. I had a recommendation to practice on internal work, and then after I get my practice in, then try to make a finished piece that you'll actually see. So for now, I'm going to leave it like that. Maybe I can finish it when it's on a rotisserie. I went ahead and set this panel in here, trimmed it to fit. It's a pretty good fit, and when I was welding this, I had a couple blowouts right there, but I think I can fill that with some welding rod. But yeah, it looks pretty good. And like I said, I didn't come all the way around this radius. I think I'm just going to tack this panel down to this structure right here, tack all this around here. I don't think it really matters. Give me some feedback on that. In my opinion, it doesn't matter, but let me know if I'm missing something, if there's a reason why I need to run sheet metal down the side. But I think I'm going to call it a day. As far as filming, I might work a little more on this side, but like I said, I don't know if I'm going to film that. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.